I'm glad you're here with me as I continue to read the Bible using the New Heart English Bible translation. In this episode, I read the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 18. Howdy, welcome to God's Adopted. I'm here to help encourage you to grow in faith through stories, teaching, and practical examples so you can experience more of God in and through your life. When we get born again, He adopts us. This podcast is here to encourage us all to grow in becoming the children of God He's adopted us to become. Join me and learn to do like Peter did. Let's get out of the boat and step on the water with Jesus. Matthew chapter 18. In that hour the disciples came to Jesus, saying, "Who then is greatest in the kingdom of heaven?" He called a little child to himself and set him in the midst of them, and said, "Truly I tell you, unless you turn and become as little children, you will in no way enter into the kingdom of heaven. Whoever therefore humbles himself as a little child, the same is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven. Whoever receives one such little child in my name receives me. But whoever causes one of these little ones who believe in me to stumble, it would be better for him that a huge millstone should be hung around his neck, and that he should be sunk in the depths of the sea. Woe to the world because of stumbling blocks, for there will always be something to cause people to stumble. But woe to the person through whom the stumbling block comes. If your hand or your foot causes you to stumble, cut it off and cast it from you. Note hyperbole or somatic idiom, meaning to stop doing a sin. It is better for you to enter into life maimed or crippled rather than having 2 hands or 2 feet to be cast into the everlasting fire. If your eye causes you to stumble, pluck it out and cast it from you. Note hyperbole or somatic idiom, meaning to stop doing a sin. It is better for you to enter into life with 1 eye rather than having 2 eyes to be cast into the fire of hell. See that you do not despise one of these little ones, for I tell you that in heaven their angels always see the face of my Father who is in heaven. What do you think? If someone has 100 sheep and one of them goes astray, does he not leave the 99, go to the mountains and seek that which has gone astray? If he finds it, truly I tell you, he rejoices over it more than over the 99 which have not gone astray. Even so, it is not the will of my Father who is in heaven that one of these little ones should perish. If your brother sins against you, go, show him his fault between you and him alone. If he listens to you, you have gained back your brother. But if he does not listen, take 1 or 2 more with you, that at the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses every word may be established. If he refuses to listen to them, tell it to the church. If he refuses to hear the church also, let him be to you as an unbeliever or a tax collector. Truly I tell you, whatever you bind on earth will be bound in heaven, and whatever you loose on earth will be loosed in heaven. Again, truly I tell you, that if 2 of you agree on earth concerning anything that they will ask, it will be done for them by my Father who is in heaven. For where 2 or 3 are gathered together in my name, there I am in the midst of them. Then Peter came to him and said, Lord, how often can my brother sin against me, and I forgive him? Up to 7 times? Jesus said to him, I do not tell you up to 7 times, but up to 70 times 7. Therefore, the kingdom of heaven is like a certain king who wanted to reconcile accounts with his servants. When he had begun to reconcile, one was brought to him who owed him 10,000 talents. But because he could not pay, his Lord commanded him to be sold, with his wife and children, and all that he had, and payment to be made. The servant therefore fell down and kneeled before him, saying, Lord, have patience with me, and I will repay you all. The Lord of that servant, being moved with compassion, released him, and forgave him the debt. But that servant went out and found one of his fellow servants who owed him 100 denarii. And he grabbed him and took him by the throat, saying, "Pay what you owe." So his fellow servant fell down at his feet and begged him, saying, "Have patience with me, and I will repay you all." He would not, but went and cast him into prison until he should pay back that which was due. So when his fellow servants saw what was done, they were exceedingly sorry, and came and told to their lord all that was done. Then his lord called him in and said to him, "You wicked servant, I forgave you all that debt because you begged me. Should you not also have had mercy on your fellow servant, even as I had mercy on you?" His lord was angry and delivered him to the tormentors until he should pay all that was due. So my heavenly Father will also do to you if you do not each forgive your brother his trespasses from your heart. I love seeing how our real living God is working in and through our real living lives in this real world. Please subscribe to this podcast and keep listening. If you've been blessed or encouraged in some way and want to leave a review, please do that by writing your review on iTunes. If you haven't already, please drop in and say howdy in our Facebook group when you can. See you next time on The Water with Jesus.